सभी को नमस्कार।
So Dr. Batras is the world's largest chain of homeopathic clinics with more than 200 clinics, 350 doctors, and we have a presence in more than 5 countries, including India, Bangladesh, UK, UAE, and Bahrain. And we have treated almost more than 1.5 million cases. We specialize in 100 ailments that includes hair loss, skin disorders, respiratory diseases, child health, women health, weight management, diabetes, mental health, sexual health, PCOS, and many more. Without much ado, let's move on to the most exciting part of the event. Today we have Dr. Akshay Batra, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, Dr. Batra's Group. He is a specialized homeopathic dermatologist and also a specialized trichologist from the Trichological Society, London. Notably, he is also the first Indian president of the Trichological Society of London. This leadership role signifies the global impact on trichology. Dr. Akshay is also an author of a best-selling book on hair. Now, I will request Dr. Akshay and CEO Mr. Sanjay Mukherjee to come and unveil the Exogen.
Namaskar, aap sabko. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to talk to you about Exogen and how this is the latest treatment. So let me start by sharing with you my story about hair and how I got into hair and what I like about it. So hair is my passion, as Dr. Tushar mentioned. I am a homeopathic dermatologist. मैंने dermatology भी की है, मैंने trichology भी की है. Trichology is a science of hair. Trich मतलब hair and logy मतलब science. और ये मैंने लंदन से मेरी पढ़ाई की थी. You know, even in the UK, even now, जो judges है वो wigs पहनते हैं to show their strength and their power. लंबे बाल were always considered beautiful. So that's the social aspect of hair. Hair has an emotional aspect, and it shows that people who are balding are less favorable for certain jobs, particularly sales and marketing. Studies also show that balding people have less number of sexual partners and higher divorce rates, particularly in the UK. And Indian studies also show that men who are losing hair believe that they look older than their age by 5 to 10 years, and it emotionally bothers them. So these are some very important aspects that got me interested in the study of hair. But what was most important was the medical aspect of hair. That by looking at one's hair, you can diagnose many different types of underlying medical conditions. So thyroid, anemia, PCOD, ये सब बाल देखकर you can actually identify and diagnose what a patient is suffering from if you're well trained. And finally, the most important or very exciting was the medico-legal aspect. जैसे कि, you know, for example, drug use में, the drugs remain in the blood for about 5 to 7 days, but they remain in the hair for 9 months. So until the hair grows out and you cut it, you can still find traces of the drug. So it's very interesting that hair can give you so many different aspects. That's what made me fall in love with the subject. Dr. Batras, we have already treated close to 8 lakh hair patients, so very, very large number of patients. These are some of the common causes of hair loss. जैसे मैंने कहा, anemia is very important. Anemia यानी कि low iron levels in the blood. And because of that, there are about, I'd say I've been practicing since about 2001. So 23 years of practice now. And I find in my practice that about 40% of women who come, महिलाओं में, about 40% of them are losing hair because of low iron levels. So that's a very high number. Stress और lifestyle की बात करूँगा साथ में. So stress gives rise to a hormone called cortisol, and that causes certain types of hair loss. Lifestyle is very important because, you know, hair is a very fast multiplying cell, one of the fastest multiplying cells of the body. It needs nutrition. It needs constant nutrition to be able to divide and grow. So lifestyle में, when people try to lose weight very quickly, वो fat diets होते हैं, size 0 बनना है उनको. So that's the time that they lose weight very fast, and with that weight loss, because it doesn't have the right nutrition, they also start to lose their hair. Smoking is a very important reason in lifestyle, because smoking, studies have shown that cigarette पीने से your blood vessels start to shrink. When the blood vessels start to shrink, then the nutrients that the blood carries to your hair follicle reduce. क्योंकि ब्लड फ्लो ही कम हो जाता है तो उसको जो न्यूट्रिशन है वो भी कम हो जाती है. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट अगेन देयर इज अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग कोरिलेशन बिटवीन स्मोकिंग एंड हेयर लॉस. थायराइड इज ए मेडिकल कंडीशन विच इज़ अ हार्मोन. इसमें हाइपर थायराइड में जहाँ पे थायराइड हार्मोन ज़्यादा काम कर रहा है या हाइपोथायराइड में जहाँ थायराइड हार्मोन कम काम कर रहा है, दोनों में हेयर लॉस होता है. So because of both of these reasons, you can get hair loss. And again, practice may about 15-20% of people lose hair because of thyroid hormones being imbalanced. Finally, polycystic ovaries. This is a female condition. Today, we find that 20%, 1 in 5 women in India suffer from polycystic ovaries. तो बहुत ज़्यादा इसकी जो है अभी incidence हो रही है. And about 20-25% of people इसमें बाल झड़ते हैं, इसमें फेस के बाल भी उगते हैं महिलाओं में. एंड इसमें जो ओवरीज है उन पे सिस ग्रो होते हैं, उसकी वजह से इनफर्टिलिटी होती है, उसकी वजह से पीरियड्स इरेगुलर होते हैं, उसकी वजह से वेट गेन होता है, उसकी वजह से हेयर लॉस होता है. सो दिस ऑल्सो इज़ अ वेरी कॉमन रीज़न. एंड ऑफ कोर्स एजिंग एंड जेनेटिक विच इज़ वन ऑफ द मोस्ट कॉमन कॉजेज ऑफ हेयर लॉस. अब तक एजिंग और जेनेटिक के लिए कोई ट्रीटमेंट था नहीं. देयर वाज नो ट्रीटमेंट दैट वाज रियली एम्ड एट जेनेटिक हेयर लॉस. And let's see what that is now and how Exogen takes care of that. Just go forward, please. And okay, wait. So young India is getting bald. I'd like to share with you these statistics also. We have clinics, जैसे Dr. Tushar ने कहा, all over in 5 countries. But India में we have about 190 clinics. And we find that जो 5 साल पहले patient की age थी, that was about, I would say maybe 35-40 years. That is now come down to 20-25 years of age. So today young people are losing hair. Next please. So this is, like I said, the onset of hair loss has decreased to just 21 years. This is the common age. We even find in practice के 18 साल के बच्चे भी आते हैं where hair loss has started. I've got some children who are in the 12th standard because of strong family history. They start losing hair early. 50% of men in India suffer from male pattern baldness, and 22% of women in India suffer from female pattern baldness. So 50% is a very high number. 1 in 2 males has male pattern baldness. Male pattern baldness is the common type of baldness जहाँ पे यहाँ के बाल झड़ते हैं, यहाँ पे पैच हो जाता है, और बाकी फिर last stage is you are left with only what you have like a horseshoe shape pattern. यहाँ पे पीछे के बाल बच जाते हैं और पूरे ऊपर के बाल झड़ जाते हैं. That is called male pattern baldness. This is an interesting statistics that shows that about 5 years ago, the number of searches in India, जो search engine पे लोग ढूंढते थे hair loss के बारे में, that was 6.4 lakh. अब जाकर it is 21.4 lakh. So almost 350% more in the last 5 years. That is from 2020 to 2024. 4.5 years में the number of searches for hair loss have gone up by 350 times. 3.5 गुना. So basically, जैसे मैंने कहा, Exogen is an exosome based treatment. मैं exosome क्या है आपको समझाऊंगा 2 मिनट में. It works very effectively for hereditary hair loss in both men and women. So most treatments are aimed at men. Now this treatment helps equally men and women. It's a highly targeted treatment. यानी कि the medicines go to the hair root and then start acting. And I'll explain that to you in a minute how it works. And it is made up of 1,470 growth factors. ये जो serum है, इसमें 1,470 growth factors है that are good for hair, that stimulate your hair follicle to grow. So इसमें there is a release of exosome. So exosome actually एक body की natural occurring product होती थी. The beauty of exosome is that it is 1/100th the size of a normal cell particle. यानी कि it is a very, very, very small molecule. Because it is a small molecule, it goes into the hair follicle and it is able to penetrate the hair cell very easily. Hair cell के अंदर बहुत आसानी से चले जाता है because of the size of the particle. Now, basically that, so when the exosome is put on the scalp, it migrates. It goes to the targeted area, which is the hair follicle. Once it reaches the hair follicle, it then attaches itself to the damaged hair cells. It finds the cells that are damaged. और इन hair cells को जाके attach होता है. उसके बाद the growth factors in the exosome is released in the hair follicle. It then gets absorbed by the hair follicle and then the repair and the healing process starts. So यानी कि like I said, the first thing is that इसमें 1,470 growth factors है, which is much more than any other treatment has had in the past. Secondly, because of the size of the particle of exosome, it's able to penetrate right into the hair cell and then release. Otherwise, any treatments put on the scalp, यहाँ पर लगा के, by the time they reach the hair follicle, उनका wastage हो जाता था. So this one goes into the hair follicle, opens up, and then attaches to the hair follicle and then starts acting. So therefore, it is targeted and it is precise. And that's what makes it very, very effective. Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, there are 7 stages of hair loss. 7 stages of hair loss. If you're in stage 7, then you can only sit next to me. I can't do anything for you.
Stage 9.
So it depends on the stage you come in, like I was mentioning earlier, right? Between stage 2 and stage 5, these treatments are very effective. Stage 6 and 7 is when your hair roots are already dead. Then there's nothing that can be done to revive them. So it depends on your stage of baldness more than anything else. I hope that answers your question.
I'm an example. If you don't come to Dr. Batra in time, then what happens? By the way, I'm 62 years old, so I don't think I.
Ji sir. Sir, typically the cost per session is 6,000 rupees a session. And it's, of course, it's much more expensive internationally. We've been able to bring the price down for India. जैसे मैंने दिखाया आपको, usually in 4 to 6 sessions we get very good results. But depending on the case, depending on which stage of baldness, depending on what is the reason for baldness, between 10 to 15 sessions should be adequately enough for the patient. Cancer patients के जो बाल झड़ते हैं, they shed. It is a type of hair loss called anagen hair loss. It happens because of anagen effluvium. जैसे मैंने पहले कहा, जो बालों के cells होते हैं, they are the fastest, one of the fastest dividing cells in the body. और जब किसी को कैंसर होता है and they take chemotherapy, chemotherapy is aimed at killing all the fast dividing cells because they cannot differentiate between what is cancerous and what is normal. And therefore, the hair of the patient also starts to fall effectively. Typically, a cancer patient on chemotherapy actually does not need much treatment. It's only a side effect of the cancer drug. Within about 5 to 6 months, their hair should come back normally. So there should be no need for any cancer patient to take any treatment. So, युवा, जैसे मैंने कहा, युवा are the main people who are losing hair. I showed you those statistics के younger people are searching for hair loss treatments a lot more. And जैसे मैंने कहा, this treatment will definitely give them very good result versus any other treatment in the market. तो बहुत फायदा होगा उनको. बिल्कुल. If you take the right number of sessions that are recommended by the doctor and you don't get result, there's a money back guarantee. You can go to the clinic and find out more about it. Hair transplant में कामयाबी है, पर कुछ हद तक है. क्योंकि हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट में ये होता है कि जैसे मैंने कहा, यहाँ के पीछे के बाल कभी झड़ते नहीं हैं, तो ये निकाल कर आगे लगाया जाता है. पहले तो ये समझना ज़रूरी है कि हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट इज़ नॉट अ सोल्यूशन फॉर एवरी टाइप ऑफ हेयर लॉस और फॉर एवरी पेशेंट. क्यों? नंबर 1, अगर आपके बाल झड़ रहे हैं तो ट्रांसप्लांट इज़ नॉट अ गुड आइडिया, बिकॉज आप ट्रांसप्लांट, ये आपके नॉर्मल बाल है, ये आप ट्रांसप्लांट करोगे, अगर नॉर्मल बाल चले गए तो बच्चे उतने ही जितने आपने शुरू किए थे. तो ट्रांसप्लांट तो सक्सेसफुल हुआ, पर आपको रिजल्ट मिला नहीं. तो जो नॉर्मल आपकी ग्रोथ है, पहले उसे बचा के रखना इज द फर्स्ट मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. सेकंड थिंग इज ट्रांसप्लांट अगर ग्रेड 3 में करेंगे और यहाँ पे थोड़ी सी बॉल्डनेस होगी, तो आपके जो नॉर्मल फॉलिकल्स हैं वो भी मर सकते हैं. तो ट्रांसप्लांट इज वेरी सक्सेसफुल फॉर द फ्रंट, मेनली मोर देन द बैक. ट्रांसप्लांट इज नॉट फॉर women, because most women will get a damage from a transplant, will not do better with it. So ये समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है. That's why I said कि सबसे ज़्यादा important चीज़ हमारे clinic में assessment. When the patient comes, patient को assess करके किया जाता है, looking at you, आपको क्या चाहिए, where is your hair loss, what are your expectations, what do you really want. उस हिसाब से there are lots of treatments that we can recommend for you to get your hair back or to help you accordingly. Thank you so much.